Storytelling is the #1 slept-on skill that will change your career and life. Hi, I'm Meredith, book lover and author. My 9-to-5 career in brand strategy and advertising taught me how to aggregate data and communicate it simply and effectively. Data in, story out, and now I'm sharing with you all the best insights I've learned. Why is storytelling such an underutilized skill? We're not taught this at school. Sure, you might have had English literature classes or even creative writing class in high school, but other classes like science and math and even analyzing literature for themes is what was valued. But storytelling is a skill that actually is applied to many traditional career paths. For example, medicine, law, even finance. Storytelling can be leveraged to grow your primary employment income as well as side hustles, and it's a marketable skill. Now, what do I mean when I talk about storytelling? You probably think of the history of telling stories to the generations below you, oral storytelling, or you might think about books that you read or writers, authors, but storytelling is so much deeper than that. When I was a brand strategist, I used storytelling to tell the story of a brand to the consumer that buys it or the target audience. What is the need that you've identified for your audience, and how is that brand going to fill that need? So storytelling is the way that, rather than just telling people to buy, which maybe will work 5% of the time, you need a compelling story to actually get you to purchase something. When you think of luxury brands like Prada, Mercedes, these have brand stories that are so compelling to us that we will spend 10 times the amount that on a car versus a cheaper Toyota Corolla that you could get for literally way less. So why is storytelling the #1 skill as opposed to something like communication or marketing or being good with numbers? Number 1, storytelling can change your life because our brains think in stories, not facts and data. That's why parables and fables and things of this nature are so important to our collective consciousness and have been around since literally the time of Aesop. We learn lessons through stories. We learn what not to do from the scary stories our parents tell us when we're a kid. We learn culture and how to be an adult. You can tell someone something over and over and over again, but they're not going to do it unless they've truly internalized the lesson. Number 2, storytelling builds and fosters relationships. Sharing stories connects us on such a deeper level than just telling someone something. Sharing stories with others fosters connection, empathy, and a shared understanding. Storytelling can captivate your audience right off the bat. And I've A/B tested this. I've tried presentations where I start with a 5 or even 3-minute story from my personal life versus a presentation where I jump right into the facts and figures and go through my 50 slides. Which one do you think performed better? Of course, when I start off with a personal story. This draws people to you and creates shared empathy. Even if you think about a joke that you tell to start off a presentation, that's still a story in a way. A joke follows a structure where you start with a scenario, a context, and then you end with a punchline. It's all part of the story. A punchline on its own usually isn't that funny. It's the context that gives it its humor. In a world that feels like it's getting more and more competitive every single day, with the advance of AI and just things in the world feeling tough, storytelling is a way that you can stand out, and whether it's a personal story or the story of someone from history or someone in the modern day or even a celebrity, storytelling gives you personality and really helps you stand out compared to others who might just be spitting out the facts. And when you think about it, most things in life are really a story. Money is a story. It's a concept. It's all digitized now. There's less and less physical cash, paper, and coins. It's all, in a way, in our minds. I always go back to Sapiens. I'll put the book up here. He talks about how money is really a concept. And so that story of money, it's one of our most prevalent stories in our civilization. Number 4, everything in life is a story. It's the game that we're playing. So if you're living in a system of stories and games, you have to play within that system. You can be persuasive and make your ideas heard. Like even in my life, I'm telling a story of who I am to you right now on YouTube. In 2023, I published my debut picture book, The Hesitant Hedgehog. That was a story in itself, but there was also a surrounding wrapper. I self-published the book, and I wanted to make a name for myself as an author. I really did that from nothing. I did that from scratch. because that was the story that I was committing to and that I wanted to manifest in the real world. This story I really created. I started pitching it to bookstores. I started getting it on the shelves of bookstores and telling a story on social media about the book. There's really layers of stories. If you want to create something, you absolutely can. And before I tell you the last reason why storytelling will change your life, I need a quick matcha break. Okay, I've got my matcha, and I made this strawberry cold foam out of whipping cream and fresh strawberries. Let's add a little layer. Oh my god. Okay, I know I said storytelling will change your life, but this will change your life. This is delicious. So the fifth reason why storytelling will change your life is because it's free. Simply put, the best storytelling, it's an innate capability of humans and our imaginations. So if you can leverage your storytelling in your business, corporate job, a doctor talking to your patients about their condition, or in finance working on a corporate PowerPoint, storytelling is going to help you. You don't have to take a fancy course. By strengthening your imagination and your ability to spin a story around something, you're just going to draw people to you. I think there are very few other skills that are so accessible for most people. It's really just as far as your imagination can take you. So I hope you found something helpful today. I'd love to keep making videos about the insights from the books that I read as a strategist, author, writer, and overall book lover. So I'll see you here next week. Thanks for watching.